Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a heartbreaking and deeply disturbing case that begins with what should have been one of the most joyful times in a woman's life: pregnancy. When a woman finds out she's expecting, it's usually the start of something beautiful. It's a time full of dreams, love, and plans for the future. But sometimes those dreams are stolen in the most horrific way. This is the story of Natalie McCullagh, a smart, kind, and fiercely independent woman whose life was tragically cut short. And the man responsible? Someone no one ever suspected. Let's start with who Natalie was. Natalie was 32 years old, living in Lurgan, Ireland. She was close with her family, though she preferred the independence of living alone in her own home. She had diabetes, and her family always looked out for her, but Natalie handled her health and life with strength and grace. She worked as a marketing executive at TransLink, and outside of work, she had a love for animals. Her cats and dogs were her companions. She was also someone who stood up for what she believed in, an advocate for fairness, equality, and women's rights. Her presence was felt all around town, and she was well loved by her community. Natalie wasn't married, but she was in a relationship with a man named McCullagh. He was 34 and lived nearby. Stephen had a background in content creation, mostly gaming and tech reviews, and had built a decent following online. On the outside, everything looked fine. In fact, Natalie was pregnant, and they had planned to name the baby Stephen. Her family was thrilled about the baby and started visiting her more often. Stephen also seemed to be stepping up, supporting Natalie through her pregnancy. It was a special Christmas for them all, or at least it should have been. But then, everything changed. It was December 18th, 2022. The World Cup final was on, and Natalie spent time with her family watching the game. Later that night, she headed back home. On the way, she got a message from Stephen saying he couldn't come over because he had a live stream scheduled. She said she might tune in if she wasn't too tired. That night, around 9 p.m., her neighbors heard a scream from her house. But since it was just once and faint, they assumed it was a TV or movie playing loudly. They didn't think much of it. The next day, when Natalie's family couldn't reach her, panic set in. At the same time, CCTV footage showed a man entering and leaving Natalie's house that same night. The police were quick to release the footage, asking the public to help identify the person. Meanwhile, Stephen continued visiting Natalie's family, acting like a grieving partner. He attended her funeral, consoled her parents, and was seen as a pillar of support. No one suspected him, yet. As the investigation deepened, the truth started to unravel. The police discovered something chilling. The man in the CCTV footage had taken a taxi from Stephen's neighborhood to Natalie's house and back. But Stephen had an alibi. He was live streaming the entire night, right? Turns out, he wasn't. Cyber experts analyzed the stream and realized it wasn't live at all. It was a pre-recorded video, scheduled to play during the time of the murder. Stephen even made up a story in the video, saying he couldn't interact with viewers due to a tech issue, something that now looks like a calculated move to avoid live engagement. What's even more disturbing is what he said during the stream. He made creepy remarks, smiled at odd moments, and referenced a GTA mission called Waste the Wife. At one point, he even said Natalie's name in a bizarre tone while discussing game physics. All these subtle clues now look like twisted confessions hidden in plain sight. Eventually, the police gathered enough evidence and arrested Stephen on January 31st, 2023. Everyone was shocked, especially Natalie's family. The man they had leaned on during their grief was the one who had taken Natalie from them. Still, Stephen pleaded not guilty. The prosecution argued that Stephen was jealous after reading old messages between Natalie and an ex-boyfriend. His behavior showed signs of obsession and control, and chillingly, it was revealed that he had searched online for the most painful ways to die, days before Natalie was killed. He even asked to spend 20 minutes alone with Natalie's body during her funeral. Nobody knows what he did during that time. Today, Stephen remains in custody. He has repeatedly tried to get bail, but thankfully, each request has been denied. The case is still ongoing, and the latest hearing took place in September 2024. There have been rumors, claims of infidelity, emotional manipulation, and even Stephen having other affairs. But without hard evidence, these remain allegations. Still, they add to the disturbing portrait of a man who, by all appearances, was planning something dark long before that tragic night. This is more than just a story about a crime. It's about trust, betrayal, and how someone who appears caring can be hiding unthinkable cruelty. So please, stay aware, look out for your loved ones, and never ignore the signs when something feels off. Thanks for being here with me today. Take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one.